the U.S. must be ready to go. They have to be confident in what they can do, but, at any moment, Bosnia could hurt them.
So let's start here. Where are you at? I know you have training later. Thanks for coming in early ahead of training.
No problem.
Are you enjoying the time
off?
off?
It's been nice having the time off with family. It's not very often in the middle of season you just get 4 weeks off to go do anything. So we've had a nice little summer vacation. Kids have been going to camp and whatnot. So it's been fun. And now we're back in training, getting ready for July 22nd to be back in season.
What stood out the most about the World Cup, especially this week? When you get into these elimination brackets and you see Germany get upset and everything like that. What stood out over the past couple of games?
Yeah, I think that anything can happen here in these you have the best teams which you expect that are going to win every game, and these underdog stories kind of happen in a knockout game. Anything can happen, and so you have Paraguay, who's a team that wouldn't expect to go very far. We beat them 4-1 earlier. You think they're playing Germany. Germany's a top 5 nation, and all of a sudden they're being taken out in penalty kicks because Germany can't score a goal, or a VAR call goes against them in some way. So I think anything can happen in the game of soccer, and I think the world of soccer is getting smaller and the game is getting better, where small nations like a Cape Verde can do something special on any given day.
No, I'm excited. I have so many questions I want to ask you about this match tonight with the U.S. and Bosnia, but the fact that North America has been hosting this World Cup, every single time I see something, it's, people having great times at the stadium, all of the international fans coming over. Just how impressed have you been with just, what you've seen out of America hosting and just, fans flocking to these stadiums? Yeah,
I think the soccer culture in general has been so cool and so fun to watch. I think you see people eating Taco Bell or going like the Japanese going down to Dallas, Texas, eating giant barbecue. I think that experience and the people, the Scottish people taking over Boston. I think you see these little cultural things and how fun people have been enjoying the United States of America while seeing these games, and the culturals all mixing together. You see when they post like pictures of the fans, you see like both teams celebrating together as they're celebrating against each other at the same time. And I feel like that is like the World Cup spirit, and it's been fun to see.
I feel like the U.S. was incredibly successful through those first 2 games of the group stages, and a lot of fans really got in after those first 2 blowing up. How has the U.S.'s run so far really grown the fans in this country for the host?
For sure. To be honest, my own opinion, I was a bit nervous coming into the tournament. I was nervous that we weren't up to snuff. But, in the World Cup, you basically get 3 games to capture America's heart, and I think they did just that. Obviously, on the last game, we lost, but I think having the opportunity to switch players in any group stage, and you switching out 9 players, it's going to be different. But for us to be in the position that we are, we're going into a knockout stage, and we are the favorite. I don't think that's ever happened in U.S. history, and that's a incredible growth for where the program's at. And I'm excited for the game.
Yeah. Us too, for sure. I know I'm expecting a win. What stands out? What are your high-level thoughts going into this one? Hey, Team USA, they need to do these 3 things to make sure that they do handle business.
Yeah, I think, well, as I had said earlier, that in these group stage games or these knockout rounds, anything can happen. So I think the U.S. must be ready to go. They have to be confident in what they can do, but at any moment Bosnia could hurt them. Honestly, you have Bosnia, who's going to sit back. They know what they're about. They're one of the tallest teams in the tournament. They'll sit back, bunker in, they'll allow the U.S. to hit crosses in, and they're going to try to break on the counter. And really, it's about, can the U.S. score goals? Can they figure out how to break that down? As they score 1 goal against Bosnia, Bosnia's shell in front of the goal will have to kind of expand out, and the spaces will get bigger, and they'll kind of have to do things that they haven't done. They're made to be a defensive team. They're looking to win on set pieces, and basically the U.S. needs to be good on set pieces, and they need to find ways to score goals early, because the later this game goes on without scoring goals, Bosnia's going to gain more confidence in their play.
Yeah, talk about, scoring goals, and one of the catalysts on this U.S. men's team is obviously Christian Pulisic, and it was, great to see he was good to go for the last match, says he's good to go for this one too, but he hasn't played more than 90 minutes in over 3 months. Just what do you make of, him saying he'd be good to play 90 or 120, and just how big of an impact does he truly make on this U.S. team?
Huge. I think you saw it in the Turkey game when he came on. He instantly was starting to create things. He is the catalyst for everything that goes on. You don't have a player like Christian Pulisic who can take 1, 2, 3 players on. I think that's a special ability. He's the only one on the U.S. that really has that ability to go every time when he gets the ball at his feet to take people on and disorganize the defense. And so I think it's incredibly important. I think it's a knockout game. He has to give everything he's got, and I think you're going to see, he needs his moment for this team to put his stamp on his World Cup, and I think tonight's going to be the night.
What goes into the conditioning factor when you're preparing mentally and physically for potentially playing that long, even though you haven't in a couple of months? How do you have to attack a big match like that and going into it knowing, I haven't done this in a while, but I might have to tonight?
Yeah, I think it's growing into the game. I think, you don't want to just add the first 5-10 minutes, just absolutely give everything and then you're toast for the rest of the game. Yeah. I think you just grow into the game and find your moments and pick your moments so when you think you're going to find yourself in the most dangerous position to make a play. And I think, the U.S. is going to have a lot of the ball tonight, and I think that's going to be good for the conditioning of the team, good for the conditioning of Christian Pulisic to be able to go the entire time.
You mentioned that the United States favored today, a rarity in the knockout round games. A lot of guys that didn't play in that last game with the yellow cards coming back, and Pulisic obviously still. How do you make sure you're not looking past a team that you're favored in a game like this? Yeah,
I think you have to be high attention to all the details. I think concentration is the most important. This team, Bosnia, could sit back and you can get lulled to sleep, and they're going to try and break on the counter with speed on the outsides. And I think you have to make sure defensively, while you're attacking, the back line needs to make sure that everyone in front of them is organized just in case that ball pops out. They need to be ready to attack it and put the ball back into an offensive position. So it's really creating a net around the field to keep the ball in front of you, and if they can do that, I think it's going to be a tough night for Bosnia.
I have to ask about Balagan. I feel like he instantly became a household name after he had the 2 goals against Paraguay in that opening match. You look at just, the U.S. leaders all-time, Landon Donovan on that list, 5 World Cup goals. Balagan at 2. This could be, another impact game for him where he can make a statement. Is there a possibility assuming the U.S. is going to continue a long tournament run here, that, he could inch his way up closer to maybe, overtaking Donovan on that list?
That would be a fun game. I mean, you see a hat trick from Balagan tonight. That would be. I'd like to see that, to be honest. I think he's a great player. Fox in the box. He's going to get every time he gets a chance in the box, he's putting it on frame, making the goalkeeper make a decision. So, the more service that we can get into him, the better the U.S. are going to do.
Yeah, I think when you were kind of breaking things down, how early they need to score just to take some pressure off. Yeah. When you're the better team, how hard is it to not press? When you're going in, how they're going to play you. You just saw what happened with Germany, and that happened.
Exactly. That's exactly.
So how do you do that where if it's the 40th minute and you haven't scored yet, you're not like, oh my God, it's starting to sweat and look up?
You have to know that you have the ability to win this game. We're going into the game knowing that we can win, and I think you don't want to get these nerves like I have to score now. You want to score early because it is going to make things easier in terms of how Bosnia is going to play. But you have to know that you have the talent and the ability to win the game at any point. And so obviously as the game gets closer and closer to the end, and if it's tied up, you feel a little bit more nervous that every time there's a set piece, anything could happen. But I think ultimately the team needs to believe in what they are and what they've done. In the 2 games that they won, I think you've seen them, the belief and the confidence that they have. If you carry that throughout and you're concentrated and you know what's going to happen, I think they'll be fine. I think it's when you start getting nervous, you're like, I have to score, I can't score. This goalkeeper's having an absolute worldie. What's happening? I think those are the moments when you just have to relax and breathe and know that you're going to do it, and that the intensity has to be right. You can't get lulled to sleep, but you have to be on your toes, but it can't be like a nervous energy. It has to be a confidence. And I think if you keep that throughout the 90 minutes, you're going to get the job done.
The United States won their group, and obviously a huge game tonight. How many more wins will it take for this to be considered a successful World Cup? Obviously, we all want the U.S. to win it all, but what's the level of success for this team?
That's a great question. I think, for me, getting to the quarterfinals is a success. But I think for this group is expected to push beyond, and I think for me a semifinal would be what everyone would hope for ultimately.
Ooh, that'd be
love
sweet.
that.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
But the thing is, if they're playing in a semifinal, I'm going to be all in on them winning the whole thing at that point.
Yeah, at that point, absolutely.
I think you see what's happened in the World Cup so far is that it's at any game anyone could. Netherlands losing to Morocco, Germany losing to Paraguay. Why not us? Why not us?
I love that. Yeah. So looking at the bracket, you still feel?
I feel confident. It's gonna be a difficult road, but
Sure.
I feel like at this point in the round of when you get to the round of 32, round of 16, the games are gonna be hard. That's regardless.
It's
of
just
the fact.
part of it.
That's it. You're going to be playing the best teams there. So, for us, I think getting us to, the quarterfinal would be incredible. But I feel like if we're there, why not continue to go all the way?
So as the U.S. looks to advance, as we say, 8 p.m. tonight against Bosnia, give me one bold prediction for this game.
One bold prediction. Wow.
I know, sorry
Okay,
for putting you on the
that's
spot
great.
with that
I like it. My prediction is that we are going to we're gonna score. Our first goal is gonna come off a set piece. I don't know if it's that bold, but I think this is gonna be a tight game. I think it's gonna be a 1-0 game. And it's not exactly what we want, but I think I watched how Bosnia played Canada, and they were very comfortable just sitting and letting them have the ball. Like, go ahead, have the ball, kick the ball, try and cross the ball and see what's going to happen. Yeah. I think it's going to be like that. They're going to be very tight lines, very compact. They're not going to be worried about it, and I think it's going to be, the nerves are going to happen tonight. But I think we're going to come out, and it's going to be a goal from someone that I don't think you'd expect.
Calm my nerves. We're not going to have penalty kicks, right? There's not going to be a shootout. I don't know if I'd be able to handle that.
I don't think there's going to be a shootout. It's going to be done in regulation. It's going to be 1-0.
How do you feel about penalty kicks? I love them. Like, edge of my seat, like, oh my God.
I think everyone loves penalty kicks. Being a spectator.
Yeah, that's very
Being
true.
a spectator is so fun. You'd be like, I'm going to guess the goalie left or right. I got it wrong. Oh, bummer. Okay, next kick. Let's see. Penalty kicks are always fun. As a kicker, there's nerves. There's a lot of nerves into it. It's not just like putting the ball down and kicking it into the goal. There's a lot of other factors into it. You've just played 120 minutes. You're kicking the ball when you're tired. The amount of pressure that's coming on. You could feel the energy of the crowd. Everyone gets quiet. It's just you and the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's doing who knows what, hitting the bar, moving left and right, making faces at you. Yeah. You're trying to maybe look left, maybe look right, maybe look at the ball. You're kind of trying to figure out how to throw him off at the same time. And so it's nerve-wracking.
Is it like a free throw where you do the same routine every time, or is it different based on the goalkeeper and
The goalkeepers are getting so good these days. I think everyone is changing up how they're doing penalty kicks because they have so much data. They know exactly where you've gone for the last 10 years if you've taken a penalty kick. Everyone knows where Messi has gone for the last 10 years, and so if a goalkeeper has that kind of data, they're going to use that and analyze it and whatnot. And then they're stronger, faster, bigger, better reactions. And so I feel like you see the last 2 penalty kicks that we've seen lots of misses, people going left, over, whatever. It's not just kicking a ball from 12 yards into the goal. It feels there's a lot more going into it.
Yeah, I look forward to the penalty kicks in the semifinal. That's when we can accept the penalty kicks. But
I believe in our guys. I believe in our guys.
I need 3-0 tonight. I'm just going to set it really high.
I hope so.
Early 20th minute first goal, and then you just start to win.
Yeah, I hope so. That's what I hope. I hope
1-0 is.
I hope in the first 5 minutes we punch him right in the nose and it just keeps going through the rest of the night, and that's it. And by the 60th minute we can just wrap it up and call it a day.
The 10th is coming quick, just to get it back to FC Cincinnati.
That's right.
You excited? You excited to get back out there?
Yeah, I'm excited. Anytime I get to put on the jersey, I'm excited. Anytime I get to rep Cincinnati, I love that opportunity. Playing against Burnley, a very historic English club. I think that's very. We got JJ Watt is an owner, so it'll be a fun game. It'll be good to have everyone back. I've missed being a part of the fans. Usually summer games, we're seeing all families come out. We've had no summer games, so it'll be fun to just have everyone back in the Stadium, feel the atmosphere again, and enjoy getting our legs back underneath us.
That's July 10th at TQL Stadium. He is Nick Hagglund. You crushed it, man. I hope USA, I hope the men crush it tonight like you did here on First Word.